Hey guys, it's me, Kylie, coming back with you today about more about the stress response. And today we're going to focus on how you can actually tell when you are going through a stress response. So most of us know that like if our armpits are sweaty when we're going on Facebook Live, or if our hands are kind of shaky, or our voice starts quivering, and things like that. You know, those are signs that we are like in a stressful situation, or like say your voice is kind of cracking, you're kind of ready to cry. I have that happen to me when I'm really, really upset. Um, so I know that I don't like that when it happens to me. So I've learned how to try and control that. Pardon the strap there. Anyhow, back to the content. Don't want you getting distracted with all that. All right, so back to the content. How to know when you are experiencing stress. So those symptoms that I said earlier about the sweaty pits and the shaky hands and voice and everything is some of the really, really extreme signs of stress. But one thing you may or may not know about, and you probably know it if you follow me or are in my Facebook group, the Exhausted Overachievers Club, because I talk about this a lot with my tribe and my folks. But one of the things that I notice is nervous eating. And this is one of the things that I used to really focus on when I was doing health coaching, specifically how to get rid of the stress response and the nervous eating habits. Like, you don't even know, like, why am I reaching for, you know, a candy bar or a coffee or whatever. Like, I had one of my clients who, wasn't really sleeping that well, and we adjusted her sleeping pattern and getting her more consistent and quality sleep, and she was able to get rid of her afternoon coffee caramel macchiato cravings, and she was able to lose 20 pounds. But that was, as a health coach, that's something that I did and I totally loved. But what I realized was she was also an entrepreneur, and I realized that as entrepreneurs, there's a lot of stress that we put ourselves through. And I actually had a very, very interesting conversation on Facebook Messenger, like for the past half an hour, which is why I didn't go live at 6, like how I normally do. And we were talking about stress and how it affects people as entrepreneurs. And I said, my goal and my mission is to really help new or seasoned entrepreneurs, to help them de-stress and de-overwhelm themselves and their businesses. Because when I found myself, and with all my entrepreneurial friends, and you probably are one of them if you're watching, but when we are not operating in our zone of genius, we tend to stress out a lot, and we freak out about, like, oh my gosh, is my graphic good, or post, like, notice I do video because writing blogs and text stuff stresses me out. I mean, I love to post, if you follow me on Instagram, right, I love to post about food and cute stuff like that because it's fun. But if I were to write a whole long drawn out blog post, I swear it would take me like a week to write a new blog post. And it's not that like, I'm only pushing content or newsletters once a week. It's like it probably took me all week just to write that one block of content, when I could just hop on here and speak my mind and what I truly feel and let you guys know. Like, because on Facebook Live, this is less stressful for me than actually writing a blog post, because I don't have to, like, I also saw Marie Forleo's The Copy Cure, Facebook ad. I'm like, do I really need that? Is that a system that I really need in my business, when I honestly don't want to write written copy? Of course, you have to communicate with your audience and things like that. But the way I operate more stress-free is just coming on live and sharing my life and my thoughts with you via video. And for other people, it is a lot more stressful to be in front of a camera. And at first it was for me too, but you know, to be in front of a camera and talking in front of strangers, I mean, hello, there's nobody here live because most of my friends are sleeping because I'm in the Hawaii time zone. And that's totally, totally fine, you know. Yeah, so anyway, back to really how to know when you are experiencing like low levels of chronic stress. So the first thing that I mentioned earlier was when you're craving those sugary, highly caffeinated drinks or snacks to give you that energy boost. You're probably experiencing a lot of stress, and I don't want to get too deep on the whole cortisol scientifical things. But I did a post on Instagram about the amygdala and how it actually creates the stress response in our bodies, and you know, the whole fight or flight system. And cortisol is like the leading player in the endocrine system that is the leader for that flight or fight response. Again, I don't want to get too detailed into that, but if you have any questions, you know, comment below. I'm a nerd. I love to research things, especially when it had to do with my own personal health. So I will probably have the answers for you, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. So again, cortisol shows up when you're having like long periods of chronic stress. And it doesn't even have to be physical like stress, but it can be stress where relationships, money, because money is huge. We're going to talk about that as we go along with the series, but money stress is huge. Like, there's a story that I tell, like one time when I was kind of transferring into this whole full-time entrepreneurial thing, that I had a physical side pain when I was doing my monthly budget sheet. I was like, okay, trying to figure out how much money I could afford and whatever, and I was like, ow, like, why am I having a side pain? Luckily, I have holistic friends, and I texted my acupuncture friend, and she's like, oh yeah, that's your body responding to stress, and the money stress is like right there in your lower left abdominal quad. Oh, I'm back. Sorry, I received a phone call during this live video. Hopefully I will call him back when we're done. But anyhow, stress. What did I say? Again, craving sweets. 2, the cortisol is tied to belly fat. That's what I keep trying to get to. Is cortisol is tied to belly fat. So if you have high levels of belly fat, then you're probably experiencing chronic stress. And my battery is going to die, so that's pretty stressful as well if you're doing a live video and you're trying to finish this thing. Just saying. So I guess that's my cue, again, that I'm going to hop off. But if you guys have any questions about, you know, the underlying symptoms of stress, I would like you to go ahead and comment, and, you know, yeah, let's just talk about stress and how it affects you and your business, because nothing affects your bottom line more than being stressed out in your business, because you don't have a good mindset, you don't have good vibes going out to your clients, and it's a stressful situation for both you and your client if you're trying to communicate with them. So let me know what you think about this video, and if this is something good information you'd like to share, go ahead and share that now. I'd love to hear from you again. Talk to you soon. Bye.